I'm Pamela Jean Noble, your host for Hotshots. Catch us every Saturday at 5 o'clock on KBCR. Hello and welcome to Hotshots. I'm your host, Pamela Jean Noble. Today, our first guest is Jasmine Sabano from Rialto High School. Jasmine is a senior that maintains a 4.47 GPA, plays basketball, and is a thrower on the track and field team, and is very active within her school community, serving as the ASB president. Welcome, Jasmine. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you said for your athletic awards and achievements, you got presented an award by Joe Baca?
Yeah, the congressman.
Okay.
We actually received recognition after the playoffs, the whole team. And they gave us like some certificates, and he actually came by and he presented them to us. So this was when we went to regular CIF, and afterwards when we moved forward to state, we went to play in Sacramento for the big state game. We ended up losing that one, but it was okay.
That doesn't matter, that's the point.
So he came and he actually tried to speak to us, and he paid for dinner, and we were at some nice Mexican restaurant, and he was actually in the middle of a big motivational speech. So the whole team were very into it. And in walks in the big mariachi band. So it was nice to see, Joe Baca's just reaction to it. I mean, he's a short little man. He's very polite. And he just stared at them, and we all just started laughing.
He's like, this was not a part of my speech.
He was very sweet. He was very awkward about it, but he's like, okay, all right, so ladies, anyway. But it was still awesome just to talk to him.
And Mexican food is your favorite, so you're probably super excited about that.
Yeah, I actually got enchiladas that same day. It's one of my favorite meals, so.
What was going through your head the whole time you're sitting there and, the congressman is, speaking to you, got, certificates and awards? What has to be going through your head?
It was very bittersweet. I mean, we had to deal with so much adversity as we went through the rounds of playoffs, and just to finally be at the last game that there could possibly be for CIF, it was amazing. I mean, the girls, we were all very supportive of each other, and we were just so happy to be together. And having the congressman just sit right across from us,
Yeah.
I mean, you always hear about him in the paper. He's always, talking about just different things. And to be in his presence was absolutely amazing.
That's a memory you're going to be able to tell your kids and different things like that. That doesn't happen to everybody, so.
That's great.
Is that when you got your CIF ring, or was that a different time?
No, that actually came a few weeks later.
Okay.
So that was just right before the game. And he actually ended up going back to our banquet, and he talked to us then again when we received our rings.
Wow. Did he present them to you guys, or somebody else did it?
No, it was our coach. They handed him the rings, and he talked a little about each and every one of us. So it was very nice to have that one-on-one with the coach.
And through this whole time, what was, your coach telling you guys to get you guys all inspired and get you through everything?
I mean, Coach Anderson he's a great coach, He himself has to deal with a lot of adversity with people because his coaching methods, he's very hard on us. Mm-hmm. He'll tell us straight out what we need to do. And if you can't deal with him, you can't. But that's the reason why we're so successful, because we've stuck through it. And while we're going through every single game, he would just tell us, you know what, ladies, this is your time to shine. You work so hard. All those practices, those Saturday practices where we had to show up at 9 in the morning when none of us wanted to be there. And he just kept inspiring us to keep moving forward. And I mean, especially with me, I was only a sophomore, and he's like, you know what, Jasmine, this is your time. You may not play as much as you will later on in the future, but this is where you start wetting your feet, get to know the girls, and it's just the experience.
Yeah.
And I mean.
Okay, so if you're going to Saturday practices, when are you having time to do all this work that gives you a 4.47 GPA?
I've had to do a lot of time management. I mean, basketball alone, we don't end practice until 6:30, and then I have to head home. I have to, I need to eat something.
Yeah.
So I'll rush through it, I'll eat, I'll shower, and I mean, I'm up on average up until 12 or 1 in the morning. I have to wake up again at 6. I mean, I live at school, so It's very difficult, but I've had a lot of support. I mean, my family's been awesome, and my ASB advisor, she's also been very influential, and they've helped me the entire way.
Okay, so let's talk about ASB. You have to do 400 hours, which I don't even understand how you fit that in a year. But 400 hours volunteer time. So what are you doing for that volunteer time?
I mean, well, through ASB, we're on campus 24/7. I live and breathe Rialto. And it requires, our pep rally setups, working the staff breakfasts over the summer before school even starts, registration week, and then one of the greatest things that we are actually able to do is through our resources, we were able to create a senior citizens prom at our local senior center.
That's great.
It was beautiful. I mean, being with all the people, and they got up, they dressed up. We actually had them vote for a prom king and queen. We bought them a little crown and the scepter. They loved it. It was a beautiful atmosphere, and we were just happy to, even though it was community service hours, it was a time for us to enjoy ourselves.
And what made you want to get involved in ASB?
It was actually really weird. I mean, my 8th grade year, I had always done sports and I'd done well in school, but I'd never been too involved with like big activities such as ASB. And my 8th grade teacher, she's actually my current ASB advisor.
Okay.
And she convinced me, she's like, you know what, Jasmine, I think you're a very sociable person and you'd fit well. So she handed me the application, I applied, and this past year, she actually got the new job as our activities director. So, I mean, with her, I've gone a long way. And I thank her so much. I mean, I started off as a regular commissioner. I didn't do too much. And then now I'm currently the ASB president.
And so what does the ASB president have to do?
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know how you fit everything into a year. I'm so confused right now.
It's a lot. I mean, mainly I have to deal with administration. I have to be able to keep good contact with a lot of the different staff on campus.
Okay.
And I'm the mediator between the ASB students and our overall staff. So it's a lot of planning and just focusing on the details and getting the class on board with everything that we have to do.
So wait, now before your games, you have the ritual. You need to explain this to me because you have to put your socks on correctly.
Yeah, well, this actually came, I'm very inspired by John Wooden.
Okay.
And I read his book, Wooden on Leadership, and he talks about his pyramid of success, and he started talking about how he was very strict with his players and how they put their socks on. So I started thinking, I was like, you know what? I need to put my socks on correctly. So I pull my socks out, I make sure that they're fitted the proper way. Because, I mean, the Nike socks, they have it where your ankle and where your toes are supposed to go.
Okay.
So you fit it correctly. And then I have to clean all the creases out. Because, I mean, that one small crease can just kill you for the rest of the game. I mean, you can feel it in your shoe. So, I mean, I've gotten pretty good at it. It takes me about a minute now, to put them on. But
how long did it take the first time you tried to do that?
Oh, I tried it at home, and it wasn't working. It took me around 10 minutes just to realize, how I really needed to put my socks on. I mean, it's a simple task, but it can take some time.
If you do it right, it takes some time. And your dad is the one who influences you a lot in basketball. Did he play basketball before, or?
My dad actually played baseball. I mean, he's a big baseball fan. And he would have loved to have a son to play baseball, but he got stuck with 3 girls.
That seems to happen to dads.
So I tend to be his boy. So ever since I was around 6 years old, we started playing, and I played for him. So he was my coach while we were little league, so to say. And ever since then, he pushed me throughout middle school and high school, and he's been a big mentor. And he's allowed me to keep my head, just help me keep focused mainly.
That's amazing. And then, so how did he react when you decided to do discus?
He was really shocked because I never showed an interest in really track. And it came about because of my coach. He told me that I needed to stay in shape, that I needed to lift weights. That was my biggest thing. I needed to lift weights. So I went out, and when I let my dad know, he was just like, okay, do you really want to do this? And I was like, you know what, Dad, I might as well. I mean, I'm always on campus.
Yeah.
Might as well just find something else to keep me busy with. So I went out on my first meet, and I let him know how it went. And so after that, he's like, okay, so you really like this? I was like, you know what, Dad, it's something I want to stick with. And so he's helped me through it. We watch videos sometimes on how I can fix my technique, and he's very supportive.
That's wonderful. All right, well, I'm going to skip to something completely different. So let's get to what you do outside of I don't even understand how you have free time, but you like to go quadding when you have some free time.
Oh yeah, we love quadding. A few years ago, my dad bought them just out on a limb, and my mom was so frustrated. She was like, you know what? She's like, you realize you're gonna put your daughters in danger? Like this is horrible. Like why would you buy them quads?
A normal mom.
Yeah. But we started going out. We went down into Arizona. We got my mom's side of the family involved. So now she's grown to seeing it. But I mean, I love quadding, just being outdoors, being out in the open. And like this past summer, we stayed over at Pismo Beach.
Nice.
So it was just falling asleep on the beach in the tents and then waking up and going quadding.
And has your family always been like outdoorsy people like that, or was that just recent?
No, yeah, I mean, we love to just stay outside. I mean, we're never home. It's either, doing something with the family or having a family picnic. I mean, for our get-togethers, that's what we do. We play sports out at a park, so it's very nice.
So, person you would like to meet is John Wooden. And obviously, you look up to him and you read his books and things like that. So, but why are you so interested in him? Why do you want to meet him?
Well, I mean, John Wooden, you hear so much about him. And truth is, I'm a big UCLA fan. I mean, my uncle went there. My sister's she's going to be a senior there. So I bleed blue and gold. And, I mean, we visited Poly Pavilion a few times. And my dad, he would always, quote John Wooden. He's like, okay, you know what? This man, he's more than just a basketball coach. He's also very religious, and he's about family. And before he passed away, I actually got into one of his books. And I started looking into his Pyramid of Success, and he was just such a wise man, and I look up to him, It was, for him, yes, he was a big coach, and he did great things, but he was about family, which is something that runs very dear to my heart. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he was just amazing. I mean, the relationship that him and his wife had, is something that I see in my parents as well. So I connected with him very well, like just by reading him. And then when he passed away, I just continued to just read just different of his autobiographies. And I mean, he's always going to be someone that I'm going to look back to.
And you mentioned that he is very about family, and obviously you're very about family. So just tell me a little bit, just to wrap things up, of why the people that you wanted to thank, them, and what they mean to you with everything that you do on a day-to-day basis. So it's athletics and academics and all that good stuff.
Well, I mean, my parents, my dad, I have a very close relationship with him. He grew up here because my parents are from Mexico. Okay. So my dad came over here when he was around 11 years old. So he knows, about the average teenager. He loves sports. So me and him carry a very close relationship. I mean, I'm his boy. Like, when I say that, it's very true. And we'll just sit and watch SportsCenter. We'll watch any type of games. I mean, we go and we tailgate at the UCLA games. So, I mean, my dad, he's always been big in my life. And my mom, I mean, she's very protective. And she's always telling me that I need to stay home more. And with her, I think she's what keeps the glue together. Mm-hmm. I mean, without her, we would still all be doing our own thing. But she always brings us back together. And then I have my two sisters. My older sister, she's been a very positive influence in my life. She also did very well in school. She ended up as her salutatorian, which is why it's one of my goals.
You gotta get out there.
Yeah. And then she's studying pre-med at UCLA. And the thing about her, we're very different. She's a lot more quiet, and she's very kind, as in sometimes she's too compassionate, I would say, because I'm a big go-getter. But because we clash so much, I think that's why I get along with her so well. Mm-hmm. And then I have my younger sister. She's the rebel. I mean, she just loves to do her own thing, but her free spiritedness always guides me. Mm-hmm. And the last person, I really wanted to thank was my uncle. He's been like my big brother. He actually came and stayed with us, like my family, when he went to high school. He went to Full High. And at Full High, I mean, he was a great linebacker. He was being recruited all over. And he got a full ride to UCLA, which is why I believe in blue and gold. And ever since then, he's my big brother. Now we live across the street from him. Like, when we moved, he moved first, and we followed him. And his daughter, she's only 5, and she's like my little sister now.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, we thank you for coming in. You're doing ridiculous things with your life, and I know we're probably going to see you somewhere eventually.
Oh, thank you. It was an honor just to be here.
KVCR would like to congratulate the varsity football team from Worm of the World for winning the CIF Southern Section East Valley title game. It was a hard-fought game, and KVCR Sports' very own Dennis Paulson was there to interview several of the players.
Great job. Congratulations,
Thank
Zach.
you so much.
Tell us how pumped you really are, big dog.
I'm so pumped. This is amazing. It's the greatest feeling I've ever felt. This is going to stay there for life. I'm going to remember this
You guys
forever.
still celebrating tonight, maybe?
Heck yeah.
Defense won the game, though, for him. How about them 2 defensive stands earlier? That was huge, wasn't it?
Yes, we needed that, and that's defense won our game.
Lot of
Defense
fun.
wins championships.
You guys did such a great job. How many kids play both ways? Looked like you got
We got like
2
at least
kids.
8 guys. 8 guys. going for it.
Amazing. And phenomenal job. I mean, done a great job all year, Coach. You know, getting canned, then coming back, and it's been a great job to win it for him and win it for all your teammates. 36 years, right?
36 years, and I got to thank all our coaches for helping us prepare for this.
That's huge.
Oh,
Anything else?
thank you for everyone's support. I love everyone.
God bless. All right, Zach, go have fun. God luck.
so much.
Congrats.
Hello and welcome back to Hotshots. Today on our show, we have Steven Barraza from Rialto High School. Steven is a senior that maintains a 3.4 GPA, plays football, wrestles, and is a thrower on the track and field team. He is also very active within his community, teaching and mentoring children. Welcome, Steven. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's talk about the community service that you do with your church.
Like, what do you want to know about it?
Tell me what you do, who you volunteer with. What do you do when you're there to volunteer?
I'm more of an assistant. I teach a little bit, but like I kind of just help like keep the kids in order. You know, do a little stuff here and there, tell some jokes. You know, find little stuff for the kids to do, little activities and stuff like that.
If you had to look back, what would be the one moment that you're always going to remember the most out of teaching the kids?
I don't know. Like sometimes the kids kind of teach me. Like they'll say little stuff about the Bible and little stuff about God that I'm just like, I never thought of it that way. And I guess those little moments are the ones that I remember like the most.
Do you have an example?
Like one time one of the kids was like, "What's God made of?" And I was just like, he's not really like that. It's more like just faith. Like, and it was kind of hard to explain to him because I wasn't ready for it. But like just knowing that a little kid asked that, I was just like, wow, like that's crazy.
Yeah, kids say the darndest things, right?
Yeah.
What made you want to start volunteering with your church?
They kind of just asked me one Sunday, and I was just like, sure. And I went out, and I liked it, so they just kept putting me on the list to help.
How did, doing the volunteering with your church and doing sports and focusing on your academics, how do you find the time to balance all of them?
Time management, I guess. It's just like, I just take everything step by step.
So you play basketball when you're not doing football, but what made you, because you're not playing basketball, right? You
No.
never played basketball, you just like to?
I played my freshman year, but I stopped.
Why did you stop?
Because I was too short to play at the varsity level, so I assumed that I'll just stop.
Put your time into other things?
Yep.
What made you want to play football?
I guess because I was big, and like when I got to high school, it was just like bigger and stronger than most people there. So coaches were just like, "Oh, you should play football," and so I tried it, and I ended up liking it a lot. So that's why.
And so you've played since freshman year?
Yeah, that's when I started.
And when did you start wrestling?
Oh, that's a long story. My brother was actually a wrestler first than me,
Okay.
and his senior year, which is last year, my junior year, he asked me if I could wrestle with him, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like I just got a football season. I don't want to. I'm tired. But he ended up convincing me, and I went out with him, and it was a really good experience to be able to wrestle with my brother.
So walk me through, if you just started, you tried out your junior year?
Yeah.
How did you feel trying out when probably these kids have been doing it since, I don't know how young they start, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming they've been doing it for many years.
Yeah.
How did you feel going into the tryouts for the first time?
I was kind of like, like scared a little bit, a little intimidated by the other people, but like once I started getting the feel for it, like, cause I was stronger than most people there because of football. Mm-hmm. So like I wasn't really like that intimidated, but like just cause their technique and stuff, I was like, man, like how am I gonna compete with these guys? But little by little, my big brother, like helped me through everything. He motivated me to be better.
So how did it feel when you found out you made the team?
I was really happy, especially since I knew I was going to be varsity. I was like, yes.
Did you celebrate?
Yeah, me and my brother went out to eat. Got
Nice.
the nachos.
Nice. What is going to be your most memorable moment looking back at that you wrestled with your brother?
That's kind of a bad thing, but like I remember at CIF when my brother, we were wrestling in the same kind of like the same medal, but in different weight classes, and he ended up he was a lighter weight classes than me, so he lost first to me. So once I went into my match, I was like, I don't want to wrestle, I don't want to do this no more. You know, I'm only here because of him. He was my motivation, and I ended up winning, and I just walked off, and I was kind of more like sad than happy. But I think that's gonna be my most memorable moment. And then like even though he lost, he still like was like. I know how much he wasn't happy, but like he still put on a smile for me once I walked off and like, you know, took pictures with me and stuff. So I was like, that was really nice.
That's a good brother.
Yeah.
And so did you get like presented the medal in front of a big audience, or how did that work?
After the CIF tournament, they had like the little stools thingies, and we stood on top of those, and they handed us our medal, took pictures, and yeah, it was really nice.
Nice. So besides all of that, you also do discus.
Yeah.
With track and field. How did you get into that?
My wrestling coach actually is the coach for that too, and he told me like, hey, I need some people that could throw a little bit, and it doesn't matter if you're not that good, just come out and do it for fun. So that's why I did it, and I had a lot of friends in it, you know, so we just have a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is doing all these sports what made you want to major in kinesiology?
Yeah, because I'm always getting hurt and stuff, so like, you know, like I got to know the athletic trainer really good at our school. So like knowing what she does and like how she's around sports all the time, I would like to do that when I'm older. So yeah, that's probably a big reason.
And that's your future and everything. So what schools are you looking at, and do they have good kinesiology programs?
Northwestern College, it's out in Iowa. It has a really good program for that. Northridge, they have a program there, and Fullerton, you know, so yeah.
Do you know what specific major in kinesiology you want to go in? Because they have a couple different ones.
Athletic training?
Athletic training?
Yeah.
And you just want to go to any high school, whatever high school is there.
Yep.
No worries. Do you like know if you'd rather work with like injuries or just with, because there's a couple different things that like athletic trainers do. You know, they can do injuries or just be working specifically with athletes to strengthen things. What do you want to focus on?
Injuries. I want to help the students when they get hurt, you know, and be able to support them and stuff like that.
Are you okay with blood?
Yeah.
All right. Just checking. That's kind of an important thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever practiced like, you know, because that's what you want to do. Have you practiced like wrapping their ankles or talking with your athletic trainer of like how you diagnose certain injuries or anything like that?
Yeah, I've actually suffered quite a few injuries. So like when I get injured, I ask like, what's this bone? What's this muscle? How did it hurt it? You know, and this year I'm taking her class.
Nice.
So like I'm now able to tape and like learn how to do all that stuff. So it's really nice.
So your most embarrassing moment, you face planted?
Yeah, basically.
Did you end up in her office?
Not after that one.
Okay.
That was one of my moments.
So tell me how that happened.
I don't know. It was muddy, and it was just like I was just running down the field, and I don't even know what happened. Like I just tried to run, like step one more time, and just face first. Just I was embarrassed. I had a little grass in my helmet, so yeah.
And then right before you even go out to play games, you have a specific ritual where you don't want nobody to bother you.
Yeah.
No music.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just in the corner.
Yeah, just sit in my little corner, eat my team meal, and just like sometimes they have a little show on for us, so we'll watch that. But I'm just more like in my zone. Like I'll even just lay down and just like look up and just think, you know, focus.
So if somebody tries to talk to you, you're like, eh.
Yeah, I'm kind of rude when I'm in my zone.
Your most prized possession is your iPod, yet you don't like to listen to music before a game.
Yeah.
Explain to me.
I don't know. I don't like listening to music before because I don't know. A lot of people think it like motivates them. For me, it's more a distraction because then like I just get too into it, and then like when I lose the music and I'm in the game, you know, the music's not there no more, so it's not going to be there when I'm playing. So I'd rather just do it without it. And I like to listen to music like the night after my game and like just when I'm relaxing and stuff. So yeah.
Do you, when you're sitting there in the corner, do you like go through like plays in your head, or like I know some people like they like think about what outcome they want in the game, then they think you know it's like it's gonna happen if they think about it.
Yeah.
Do you do that kind of stuff?
Well, I look at a lot of films, so I kind of just like reevaluate everything about the team. You know, little stuff I should remember, little techniques that they do and stuff like that that will help me in the game.
So Your favorite vacation spot?
It's Yosemite.
Yosemite. Why Yosemite?
I think it's because like over there, there's not really any like cell phone reception, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. It's just like all green, and it's so nice to be able to go out there and just clear your head and like not have no distractions, nothing, just focus. You know, like have a good time with your family, and just enjoy
So
nature.
The only difference from being stuck in the corner before your game is the fact that your family's there.
Yeah.
Basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Your favorite movie is Friday Night Lights, I'm assuming because you play football.
Yes.
What is your favorite line in that movie?
I like when Booby Miles goes out there and he's like, "You want to win? Put Booby in."